I've went through several, shall we say, life-changing events. This particular one is how I started playing music when I was 58. I've always loved to whistle, and I have a wonderful gal. I had a wonderful gal, beautiful gal that worked for me. She's actually my daughter-in-law now. Her name is LL, or Laura Lee. She's a good violinist, and I asked her one time, I says, would you mind coming to the office and bringing your violin so that I can learn how to play, or so that I could whistle with you as you play your violin? So I would whistle, and she would play. I would whistle with songs, and she would play the songs, and together we would play this music, I whistling and her with a violin. And I just love it, because the violin is so much like whistling, except for you can get so many more notes, of course, with the violin. But she never made me feel uncomfortable. She always made me feel comfortable, and she said that when I whistled, it helped her to understand how to play the song better. Interestingly enough, as we were playing the violin while I was whistling, she learned that she could play by ear. So she started to listen to the music. She would hear me whistle, and as she would play the violin, once or twice through the song, she'd figure it out. 3 times she'd have it pretty well down. By the time she did it 10 times, the song was basically perfected. She's a wonderfully talented person. And but she made me feel comfortable whistling. And I then, when I started doing that with her, I've always wanted to play the violin, I play the piano, but I've always wanted to play music, and I've never felt like I've been very talented to do so. And still, I'm going to tell you about how I learned. So I'd spent tremendous amounts of my life working, playing a lot of sports. I should have done 30% sports and 70% something else, music, whatever else. I should have never participated in sports as much as I did. My mother told me when I was taking piano when I was a little boy, I took for a year or so, a year or two, you're going to regret it if you quit. I did not want to play, so I did quit. But anyway, I wish she would have just said, do your songs 2 or 3 times each and then you can go play, instead of by time. I wish she would have let me play other fun songs that I wanted to play. However, back to whistling and the violin. Well, I really started having this feeling of I wanted to play music, and I found out that I might have prostate cancer, and I had my PSA levels were really high, so I thought I had cancer again. I already had cancer once. I thought I had it again. My wife says, so what do you want to do if the doctor says you're going to die? What 2 things do you want to do? I says, I don't know. I says, I probably want to go up to Wyoming a couple more times dirt biking, or I want to go with my daughter-in-law Brittany to Hawaii and watch the waves roll in and enjoy that, just jokingly saying that. But what I thought was, I want to learn music. So within the next few days, I went out and bought me a keyboard piano, a violin, a ukulele, a harmonica, and I got the guitar restrung. And so for the last 1.5 years, 2 years, whatever it's been, roughly getting close to 2 years, I've been learning the piano, the violin, the harmonica, the ukulele. It has been so difficult to learn the notes and figure out the notes and be able to read them and understand what they are and how the note is a particular note on the piano. I'm actually quite slow at certain types of learning, but once I learn, I'm pretty good at retaining. Especially if it's a physical thing. My wife said to me at dinner one time, she goes, so what makes you think that you can learn all these instruments, piano, violin, harmonica, ukulele, guitar? What makes you think you can do that? I go, I don't know. I mean, if you push on the key, it will play that note. If you bow on the violin, it will make a particular note. If you blow on the harmonica, it will make a note. So I thought, for me, not being very musically inclined, it was kind of like a physical thing. If I do this, then that will occur. So anyway, I have played the piano for hours and hours and hours, the violin for hours and hours and hours, the harmonica quite a bit, and the ukulele quite a bit. My favorite by far is the violin and the piano. I absolutely love them, and I started learning, like I say, at the end of when I was 57, 58 years old. I'm almost 59 now, so I was probably about 58 when I started. But anyway, it has been totally amazing to learn music as an older person. I'm slow, I'm a rookie, but I'm better than zero. My goal was to learn one song, and I'm farther than that. I can do 100 songs. They're not perfect, but they're getting better. And so one of my favorite things, favorite life-changing events in my life has been the possibility of having prostate cancer, which I was found negative, but I went through a lot of emotion with that. However, they've got to keep an eye on me. But the value of knowing that life is even shorter, and I know it's getting shorter because I'm getting older. I wanted to learn music, and I have, and I'm doing better at it. I'm actually playing the piano and the violin, the harmonica, the ukulele now. I'm actually doing that. Now, like I say, it's not perfect, but man, I'm getting a lot better than I was, and I'm so glad that I did it. What I regret tremendously, my regret has been, I spent way too many hours playing football. Should have never played football in the first place. What a horrible sport. What a foolish sport to do to your body. Wrestling. I spent a lot of time wrestling. I did appreciate that. But that was, again, a lot of effort. I'm glad that I did it, though. Track, baseball, things like that. I wish I would have spent 30% of the time I spent on sports and not made it such a priority. And I wish I would have done 50% music. I wish I would have done other things. I wish I would have skied. I wish I would have skied and done things like that. However, learning music has been a wonderful thing. It's also calmed me. It's made me more calm. It gives me the focus, and it's hard for me to focus, and it gives me the calm that I do it. So I love being able to play music, and I'm going to get better.